Welcome to a brand new podcast. This is your host, Mr. McDougall, the one and only, incredibly sexy voice. Just a picture, no video, because we're back underground, baby. So, today's topic, what I wanted to talk about, it's actually also a kind of a broad topic. It's about confidence. You see, you keep hearing this a lot, like confidence. You have to be confident because that's the only thing that matters. Confidence, confidence, confidence. And I think there's many definitions for it. I've heard many, and I actually agree on a few. A lot of them are just bullshit. Especially when people tell you that, hey, you just have to be confident, which personally I believe is the biggest bullshit advice you can give to anyone. It is, in my opinion, as great of a bullshit advice as to be yourself. Imagine, would you tell a serial killer to just be himself? Can you imagine what he would do? Would you tell a nerd who keeps making the same silly jokes over and over to just be himself? Or would you tell someone who's out and is going for a job interview to just be himself? Of course not. It's the biggest bullshit advice in the entire world. You can't just be yourself. You're always different. If you are yourself in virtually every situation possible, wouldn't you be a really weird person? I mean, you're different when your friends are around. You're different when you talk to your parents. You're different when you're in school. You're different when you're in a club. You're different when you're out eating in a restaurant. So we are never ourselves. It's a stupid myth, and I've heard it before, and it's the biggest bullshit advice I've ever heard, and it's mostly used when people go on dates. You know, they always say, hey, it's okay, just be yourself and just be confident. So I think that to be confident and to be yourself, I think it's stupid advice. They're both stupid. They make no sense at all. And personally, when someone tells me to, hey, just be confident, I have no idea what the fuck it means. Excuse my profanity and my use of cuss words. I have absolutely no idea what it means. And I bet that there's more people who have the same thoughts I have, but who are just too afraid to say it or too afraid to say how stupid it is. Well, I'm here now and I speak for all people, men, women, everywhere, that, hey, I have no idea what people are talking about when they say to just be confident. Now, I'm going to explain my version of being confident. You see, the word confident comes from confidence. It's from the Latin confidere. And actually, fidere, we recognize it from the English word fidelity. So that word actually comes from trust. So it actually has its roots in the word trust. So what is confidence? Confidence means nothing more than to trust oneself. You have to trust that whatever you do is going to be good enough. That's what confidence is. Trusting yourself and doing the right thing. Sounds very simple, but what if someone tells you to, hey, just be confident, just trust yourself, that you'll do the right thing. It still is worthless advice. How can you trust yourself to do the right thing? You can't. You really can't. You know, when you start working at a place where you have never worked before and your employer tells you to, hey, just be confident and everything will automatically come, you know? It will fall into place. That does not happen. For instance, someone who has never fixed a car before, would you tell that person to just be confident and everything, you know, you will eventually fix the car? No. You have to try. You have to do something. You will fail. Then you'll get up and try again. You will fail again. You might fail 10 times. But every time you fail, you have learned, here is one way how to not do it. So every time you fail, you learn something. And every time you learn something, now that is when you build confidence, in my opinion. So you see, confidence is not just one thing. It consists of many small parts. And I believe it consists of many, many times that you tried and you failed and that you actually learned something. So you see, failing and learning, those pieces are all part of confidence. So confidence is not just one thing. You can't expect someone who comes to work at your company to do everything perfect. You can't. A person needs a lot of practice, training, and if he or she has done it enough times, of course, it makes sense that person will be confident, excuse me, in the job he's actually practicing. And now that person has built confidence. And that's how I believe confidence works. And that's why the advice to just be confident is, to me, it's bullshit. I'm sorry for that. But it really is. You cannot say that to a person. You have to show them the ropes. You have to teach them this is how you have to do stuff. They will have to practice whatever they're supposed to do until they get better at it, until they improve. And when they do it by heart, they don't have to memorize how it's done. They will do it by nature. See, that's the thing. If you can do something as if it was a second nature, then you trust yourself you're doing the right thing at the right moment. That is confidence. Now you have become confident in that area. And this is the easiest way to view confidence. Now, of course, there's other thing that, confident people are attractive people. But I just think it's nonsense. Confident people, at least when we think of people who seem to be confident in our eyes, might seem like they are the perfect person, but they're not. They just know how to do certain things. And the more things you're able to do, the more your confidence will grow. And people will, perceive that. So, you want to have some confidence? Start doing things. Learn a language. See, you can't learn a language by being confident. That doesn't work. For instance, you want to speak French and you have to do an exam. You can't tell a student, hey, you know what? It's okay. Just be yourself. Be confident. When you will tell that to a student, that student will only be confused. Or, you have to follow your heart or do whatever your feelings tell you to. That's not being very clear. Instead, the best advice would be to just say, practice and learn from your mistakes. This is how you will build that magical thing everyone seems to be talking about called confidence. That is confidence. Remember that. So to all you incels, boys and girls, men and women, confidence is something you have to gain. You have to achieve it. You have to gain it by practicing and failing, and then getting up and try again, and perhaps fail 100 times more. But that doesn't matter. Every time you fail, you learn something and your confidence will grow. That's how you do it. So this was my podcast about confidence. There might be more in the future, but to me personally, this is what I think of confidence. And please don't listen to people who tell you to be yourself. Make sure that, you trust yourself to do the right thing by having practiced enough times. Practice. Keep practicing and learn from your mistakes. This was your host, Mr. McDougall. I hope you have learned something and gained a deeper level of listening, understanding, and a new layer of perspective on life. I'm out.